here now, so we can definitely start. So
No problem.
if you're settled, to everyone who's on the live, hope you're settled, you're ready. Got your tea, standard. I have my water here.
I have nothing. Absolutely. But
No, that's cool. That's cool. Evening. So thank you for making time to jump into this podcast today. This is episode 4 of Building the Brand with Pako podcast, where we talk to different brands and we learn from them in terms of how they built their brands, what techniques they used, what secrets they can share with us publicly, and just to learn more about them beyond what we see on the screens and on the socials. So this evening, we have Jessica of Jessie's Makeup. Now, Jessica is a woman of art. She deals in art and body art as well. So she deals with makeup.
yes.
And no one likes an ugly brand. We all want presentable brands, good-looking brands. So this evening is about learning how to build your brand, especially the face of your brand. So Jess has been at this for a couple of years now, 7 years if I recall correctly, and she is a leader within this field. So she's a person that has established herself through numerous ways. She's worked with different media platforms and magazines such as Queen magazine, and she's been on so many platforms that I can't even begin to list them. So Jess, thanks for making the time to be with us today.
Thank you very much.
Awesome, awesome. So, okay, looks like we lost Jess. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
So, tell me this. If you had a choice to, what's the word? Okay, maybe let me rephrase. What's the one thing that you absolutely cannot leave the house without?
The one thing that I cannot leave the house without.
Yeah.
To be honest, is a lip balm.
Lip balm.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting.
Yes.
So no makeup bag of goodies.
Not really, because kind of a lot of people actually think we wear makeup every day.
Yeah.
We don't. Well, I don't wear makeup every day. Makeup for me is for special occasions or for content creation. If I'm doing none of those, I just rest my skin. So going out, I need to make sure at least my lips are moisturized. So the balm is standard.
All right, awesome. Well, today is definitely a special occasion, so thanks for getting your face.
It is a special occasion. I was actually out and then I decided, let me just use the makeup as well for the interview.
Awesome stuff. So tell us, who is Jess beyond the makeup, beyond what we see on the socials? Because the thing about socials, we see perfect pictures on, when your makeup is on point, your outfit, the lighting, everything is just right, So who's Jess when you're not on the socials? When you aren't posing for great pictures, who are you?
Yes. Jessica Molefe is a mother, a wife, and a daughter, Bonnie. I mean, beyond makeup, I'm just like any other lady. I mean, I've got interests. I love I want to hang out with friends, like everyone. But much as I'm myself, I still gravitate towards Jessica, the artist. Beyond everything, art is just part of me. It's beyond work. That's just who I am. Like wherever I go, outfit, how can it be perfected?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, okay, how can I fix her makeup? What can I do to better help them understand what is that? Everything is art with me, but it comes so naturally. But Hela, Jessica Molefe is my name. I'm 31 years old. I come from Matinari and married. It's been 7 years. I'm a mother of one daughter. And yeah, that's basically it.
Love it. I absolutely love it. So how did you get into makeup? Did you always want to do this? Was it Was it like a childhood dream or something that came about maybe in a different journey?
I think it has always been a childhood dream, but it manifested itself in a different way growing up, getting to be taught as in understanding my full potential. I've been doing art since I started school, from creche, obviously, primary, and then I continued with it, goes junioring and then senior. So when I got to university, I really had to think hard about it because back then, 2010, why do you want to waste your time? Why do you want to waste your degree? And we didn't really know much about pursuing art. So I did something else, which was a double major, a degree in environmental science and English. But then I still went back to art, but this time around, not your fine arts as in drawing and all of those things, but I fell in love with drawing, but dealing with the human face, which is makeup, and something that is also not taught in our school art system, but it's still art. So that's really how it came about. Art, when you mentioned art when I was young, we would talk about dancing, maybe acting. That's why it manifested itself in a different manner, which is makeup artistry. So yeah.
So you are an artist at heart.
True, 100%.
And
100%.
that really reminds me of one thing. I've seen your dancing videos, so you are quite the dancer.
Yes.
To everyone who's on the live, do check out Jess's dancing videos.
Yeah. Yes.
So, would you ever trade one art for the other? Like, if you absolutely had to make a choice between the makeup and the dancing, which one would it be?
Honestly, my first love is dancing.
Ah,
My
okay.
first love is dancing, yeah. So
All
makeup
right.
comes second. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, cool. So, in the makeup line, you are a leader in the field, like we said. What are some of the principles that you can share with us that helped you get to be at the level that you're at in a fairly short space of time? Because 7 years is quite short. So for you to get to the peak within that time, there must be something magical that you did. So can you share just a bit of that magic with us?
I think the number one thing that I think is very important to highlight is confidence, self-confidence. Beyond everything, if you don't believe in your dream, no one else will. It's like if you're not going to make a party, no one is going to come and celebrate with you. Self-confidence is that party you make for yourself so that people catch on the vibe and then they join you. After self-confidence, consistency. There's no up and down when it concerns success. You really need to be consistent, and consistency comprises of not necessarily depending on external voices. You depend on your internal voice, which is the self-belief, which is the number one principle in this case for me. If your self-belief is not as solid, forget about consistency. So these are the two main things that are still holding me up until today. No, not two, three in fact. And the third one is humility. Humility in the sense that when you get to the top, it's a very lonely place, and sometimes you can even forget yourself. It's very important to understand that you're a celebrity because you're celebrated by others. So humility really comes natural to me. I still want to remain relatable, much as people get to think I'm a celebrity. This is why my introduction, Gary, I'm just like any other person, and I am really. But I'm special in my own space and lane, you know. So it's self-belief, consistency, and humility. These are the three principles that have really kept me at the top.
I love the last bit on humility. I think that's really, really important. So that you are approachable, because I'm sure that a number of young people want to learn from you in terms of how you built your business, how they can do their own makeup as well at home.
True.
And in terms of when you first started, you spoke about self-confidence. So
yes.
I'm sure there are people that try to discourage you from pursuing, and maybe your skill level wasn't where it is now. So how did you overcome that that discouragement from people around you, friends, and maybe even family as well?
Yes. So speaking of family, the thing with discouragement is that you can best explain it when you are looking at it on hindsight. But when you're in it, it's like you feel like the world is fighting you. But actually, the world is not fighting you. The world is actually training you. That's how I view. What is the right word? Criticism? Is it criticism?
Criticism, yeah.
Let's say criticism. Yes, that's how I view criticism. When I was in it, I did not understand it for what it is. I understood it as if people were fighting me. But criticism is actually a system of the universe to help you grow. So, since let's say I'm talking to somebody who's in it and they're completely lost, the one advice that I would give to them is that it's temporary. Just work on what you feel you're lacking at. Pick the meat, forget about the bones. When you grow out of it, you realize that that phase was to actually help you. So where I am right now, I really thank God for the discouragements I got from my family members and friends, because I think it's the one thing that really fueled me to perfect my skill, because I did it out of anger, but that anger wasn't necessarily channeled at them. It was channeled at, okay, but I'm going to this is what I'm saying. When you look at it at hindsight, you really get to realize, oh, no, it wasn't about them. It was about you. It's to help you. So that's how I view discouragements from people close to us.
That's really, really wonderful. And I've heard often that there are a number of people that became great because they were trying to prove a point to other people that, you know what, I can actually do this. And then using that anger to push themselves, they really went above and beyond what they thought they could do, you know, in the wildest dreams, you know. So that's really, really great. So, and I know one other way to try and keep oneself afloat is through jokes and through humor. You know, trying to find the humor in the situation. And I know that the one person that has quite a sense of humor, quite a sense of humor. So
I don't think I have a sense of humor. I don't think so. I just say what is in my mind.
Yeah.
I just say what's in my mind. So yeah. So with the sense of, I know where you're coming from with this one. Honestly, all of the videos you've seen, those are bits and pieces of my sense of humor. I'm a bit like protecting the brand type of vibe. I don't want to go overboard, but those are just bits and pieces just to show people that, you know, I'm relatable, not always uptight and posing for pictures. I can take off my makeup, be on my pajamas, and act like an old lady. You know, this is why I had mentioned that I did acting in primary and junior. It's still there. It's still there in me. So sometimes I get to see moments before they even happen. I'm like, I need to put my camera ready. I think something funny is going to come out of here, and then indeed something funny happened. And oftentimes it's with my husband. With my husband, I mean, his sense of humor is off the hook. I'm the laughing one, honestly. And again, no kata. So yeah, I wish I could document more, but I don't want to embarrass my husband. But yeah.
All right. No, that's great. That's great. So happy vibes all around. Great vibes. I like that. I really, really like it.
Yeah.
So tell me about Connie Ferguson. A couple of months back, she was in the country, and you did her makeup. How did you score that? I'm sure there was like a line of 1,000 people waiting to do her makeup. So give us the secrets. You know, how did you get to her? And everyone else was just falling over themselves trying to get to that position.
I really want to believe that was God channeling me to the right opportunity. You know, when it concerns success, especially with my life, I'm not going to shy away from mentioning God. Some call him the universe, some call him, I don't know, karma, whatever. But there's this one thing about God. God knows how to honor the desires of our hearts. I've always wanted to do hair makeup, but I just didn't understand which platform. And honestly, I wish I had another phone here to take a screenshot of my message in the year 2019, where I personally sent a message that I'd love to join the Queen and
Oh, wow.
do their makeup. This was 2019. So I even forgot about it until the time I was talking to her on Instagram after the makeup application, and I was showing her the message, and she personally said, you see how God works. And I was like, wow. After 4 or 5 years, God finally decides you are now ready to go do a celebrity makeup. Had I done her makeup 2019, I was probably going to embarrass myself. But I'm very happy that I had to do her makeup this year. So how it happened was that I saw that she was coming over, and I saw the number where we were supposed to RSVP for the event. So I was like, I don't want to attend this event only. I want to do this lady's makeup. So I quickly called the number. And fortunately, the number that was in there was the number of the organizer as well. So they asked me to send my portfolio. I sent it to them, and they were like, can we meet and talk? And I was like, no problem. Can we meet and talk so that we talk over coffee? I was trying to win that heart. So I went to Hilton, and then we spoke over coffee. I was trying to look my best, all of those things. But I had already long won their hearts, and they were like, we have seen your work. We think you are professional enough. Koni doesn't mind you, so let's give it a try. So I was like, oh, okay, that's simple. So there was nothing really special. It was just me seeing an opportunity and then jumping into the opportunity before anyone else did. So I just thought I was fit for Koni's makeup application. Kanti bile, apparently Habua and Mrs. Ferguson are naturally she does her own makeup, has a mama thing. But at this time around, she just thought, let me give a Motswana makeup artist a chance. And fortunate enough, that chance was my chance in my day. So that's how I really got to do her makeup.
Wow. God and God's timing, and that's
exactly.
That's a great testimony. It's a great testimony.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Amen. I
look at your sense of humor.
And there's something that you said, or had you done a makeup back then, you would have embarrassed yourself.
Yeah.
If you could go back, let's say 10, 15 years, and advise your younger self, what would you say to yourself?
I would tell my younger self, keeping the dream. You're not alone. You're not far off. You're on the right track. And the main reason why I say this is because you see those 3 principles I told you about. When I started Jessie's makeup, I've always been like that. I'm very stubborn in a very good sense. I believe in what I believe. If it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's right, it's right. If I feel it's time, it's time. If I feel it's not time, it's not time. That's good. I respect the 6th sense. I feel it's God's way of communicating what now. This is the time to get into this. This is the time to stop this, and all of those things. So I've always been principled, and I really want to give a high five to myself, the younger self. Or you know what? You did well by keeping on. You did well by not being distracted. You did well by not keeping bad company. I've always been like that, and this is why my advice is still the same to the young Jessica. Or you know what? Keeping on. You're on the right track. So yeah.
Love it. So principles, and something that I've learned is that the principles that we have from childhood can actually carry us through to adulthood. So start off well, you finish well as well.
100%. Yeah, very true.
Then speaking to the young you, I want us to talk about young people. So a number of young people want to blow up through social media, whether it's through makeup like you, or dance also like you, or acting, or music, or any other line.
Yes.
What are some of the things that you've seen young people on social media when trying to build their brands?
I want to believe that there is no standalone success. You cannot be successful alone. You cannot go to the top alone. It's impossible. You need people surrounding you, whether directly or indirectly helping you. This is where our families on social media, because they are social media family members. This is where they come in to send the inbox to say you're doing a wonderful job, or just I feel add a little bit of this on your content. Feedback matters. The thing is that these young ones, they want to rush into success, but success needs a set of principles to balance it. You cannot rush into success while you don't know how to deal with people. You don't know how to talk to people. You'll be the most talented person, you'll be the most talented person, but ill-mannered. It's still going to nullify your success. This is why you need people around you, either family members or mentors or coaches in your specific field of interest. So the one most important thing I would tell a young person is that you cannot be a standalone success. I'm Jessica Molefe because of my husband. I'm Jessica Molefe because of my mentor. I'm Jessica Molefe because of my pastor's wife. I'm Jessica Molefe because of the advices I get from my friends. So I'll be lying to say I'm here because I did 1, 2, 3. I have a team of people who say, Jess, we feel you're slacking. Can you try to? Or there are people I run to say, I was thinking of 1, 2, 3, and they would advise me better. Like I said, it's not standalone success.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff. You said something that really caught my attention. You talked about your mentor.
Yes.
What would you say is the top value that you've gotten out of having a mentor that speaks into your life?
Yes. The one thing that comes to my head thinking about my mentor is discipline. Discipline. If there's one thing I've learned from him, maybe it's important to also mention that the name of my mentor here, Coach BF Ramokhati. The one thing that he has always taught us is that you will always be researched or discovered for where you come from, not where you're going. As in, what you do in the present will always affect the future you. So you need to be careful of what you're doing in the present while you are not known. Because the time you are known, they're going to go back and want to hunt for the we don't want to know where she's going. Where is she coming from? What did she do? And then they take that and use it against you. I guess this is why you won't really know anything about me, because in my hiding time or hibernation time, it was time for me to grow, to build my principles, to build this thing that I call Jessie's makeup and all of those things. And it's probably going to be like that for eternity.
Beautiful stuff. And you know, I've also seen the value of having a mentor. It comes with so many lessons, and you get, like you said earlier on, someone who will tell you when you're slacking, you know, because often it's so hard to see when you're off track because you're so close to everything. But with a mentor, he can see from a distance, you know.
Yes.
Awesome stuff. Yeah. And to anyone who just joined us, you are with Jessie from Jessie's Makeup. She's done awesome work. Check out her Instagram, her Facebook, and her TikTok as well. She does amazing work. If you have any questions, any comments, or any compliments, guys, for Jessie, please do drop them in the chat, and we'll get to them. There's actually one comment here from Dr. Cabello. He says you can tell without asking that she's an expert when it comes to cosmetology. Just wonderful. And actually, speaking to that, I recall at the event on Saturday called by Saho, you mentioned something about further studies. Can you just touch on that just a bit?
Yes. So what I'm trying to get into, I'm probably going to take the route of being a makeup artist and an esthetician at the same time. So an esthetician, you can be a medical esthetician, as in a doctor dealing with the skin. They have another deeper one, which is a dermatology, and then the beauty estheticians. So this is where we deal with the skin in depth, or where they currently deal with the skin roads. This is where they deal with the skin in depth. So I was just thinking, Jess, you're growing up. Are you going to be a makeup artist forever? Can we now try to narrow your profession with your age? So what I'm trying to move into is that I have a 4-year timeline. By the age of 35, I should be done doing the face beauty. So I desire that I want to be out of the country, teaching in makeup, let's say makeup schools or hosting makeup classes. Well, I'll be teaching people how to do makeup on the professional side of things, like getting into business. Practice as an esthetician as well, dealing with cancer skin. I really want to now become the mother in the industry. No running. So that's what I'm trying to get into. So I'm caught in between esthetician or somatology. So somatology is like in-depth dealing with the skin. But the thing with somatology is that I would need 7 full years to attend. So 7 years I need to weigh my options for the family, school, what is what. So that's why I'm still caught in between thinking about it.
Yeah. Okay. Dr. Jess, we got that. It's all very technical. All very technical. I love it. I actually love it. And so one thing that really stood out for me is how you spoke about how you've given yourself 4 years. So you're already thinking what you're going to be doing in the next 4 years.
Yes.
So I think that's really amazing. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. We have one question here from Debo. What challenges have you had as a MUA? What's MUA, Mr.
Makeup artist.
Okay. There you go.
It's pronounced more. Yes.
All right. So,
yes.
what challenges have you had?
The challenges I've had, I don't know how to best pinpoint them.
Maybe let's say the most common.
The most common one is that let me say it on a country level. I think our country does not take our profession seriously, and it's amazing that we don't even have a license for it. Like Olunosihela as a makeup artist. We are totally different entities altogether. So I just wish our country could see us for what we are. And it saddens me just two. But there are lots of makeup artists mushrooming in Botswana, which shows that there's a need for more teaching, more professionalism, and more. Speaking of professionalism, when we deal with makeup, we are talking about products. This only be product, but when it concerns products, we personally have a problem of products that are not authentic, which is bad for the skin. I'll just use this foundation age and 20 kula. They don't question why it's 20 kula. They don't even realize we're probably going to spend more than 20 kula trying to fix your skin after it damages your skin. So it's like our country, it's just not so I don't want to say obsessed, careful about. But what do they do? What do they use? Are they qualified? All of those things. I understand in other countries they go as far as raiding makeup artists and stuff like that. I just wish maybe the law enforcement could take that seriously. Makeup, professional. I guess this is why there's also kind of like a rift between the high-end makeup artists. So why are you charging 700 pula masoha charge 150? Thing is skillless kolo. I know what I do. I know what I'm doing. I know the products that I'm using. I guarantee you quality. I guarantee the health of your skin. But masoha is lost because of other quick cash. I want my soho to look for quick cash, but in a more professional and safe manner, and in a way, I think that's generally one of our biggest problems, more being a makeup artist.
Yeah. And it's a real danger to the market as well, because it then risks tarnishing the name
Yes.
of the industry, and stuff,
Yes.
and creating all sorts of complications as well.
Very true.
Yeah. So in terms of any big plans or big projects that you're having that you can tell us about, you promise not to tell anyone. So anything.
My number one big project is probably going to be next year. I want to host a makeup competition. I want to host a makeup competition, yes. I want to give Amazona an opportunity to study makeup, like Mr. Skolong, and probably win a full kit business. I want to go as far as helping them brand their business all throughout. So that's the main prize, the competition that I'm thinking about. So it's probably going to be something that is going to be aired. So something that I'm working on. Like I said, there's no standalone success. These are the things that I cannot do alone. I need people to help me as well. So that is my big project that I'm looking forward to.
And it also sounds like you would need someone who run personal branding. I'm not saying that I know anyone.
Yes, I'll call you. Don't worry, definitely.
I might be talking about myself, but I might not.
Yes, I'm definitely going to need somebody for that. It's just going to be. I'm thinking around it. It is some boot camp type of vibe, challenge type of vibe. I want it to be beyond come, tasa, compete. I want to sit down with people to fully understand where I come from, how we are branding, that's why I'm thinking about it in a boot camp type of vibe. You're not Big Brother. There was this show, America, where they told the world and something of that sort. I really want to challenge them physically and mentally. That's what I'm trying to do.
I like that. Yeah. I like that. So there's another question from Dibo here. He says, do you think being well connected works for you as a makeup artist, or it depends on how you run your business? So how far do connections go in your field?
Well connected. Yeah. Honestly, I want to believe your work speaks for itself. I don't have connections. I come from a family that you probably even know that name. Well, it was just Moffat. I don't know anyone rich. Honestly, I don't feel connections help, but rather connections are going to slow you down where it concerns growth. You're going to miss out on a lot of principles. A lot of missed out on that. So with connection, you don't. I feel there's some sort of value lost. How we do it? We're not no connected here. But when you are alone in quotes and believing that you grow out of your little space, there's so much that you can learn and so much that you can teach. When I thought I was connected, so it's okay to be connected. It shortens but there's so much to nurture, so much to value, so much to keep, so much to share where it concerns your craft to speak for itself.
Yeah.
So yeah.
100%. Plus, I think one thing that I've seen also to do with connections is that a connection will always come at a cost. The cost might not be now, but at some point in the future, they'll expect you to repay that favor that they did you. And it could be 1,000 things, who knows what they'll ask.
A whole lot. Even speaking of 1,000 things, I'm female. We know the challenges that we go through as females for some to get opportunities. I mean, some of these things we can't even talk about them here, but females go through a lot to get a job, just to get a tender. So I don't think it would be a good story to say I'm a success. Anyways, but yeah.
Yeah. True. There's one speaker that I follow called Jim Rohn, and he always says, make yourself into a valuable person and you'll attract success. Just gain value, gain the skills and the knowledge and the wisdom and everything, and the more that you gain, the more that you become valuable.
Yes, very true.
So going back to the show that you spoke about, we have Dima here who's volunteering to be a presenter for the show. Yo, looks like we have an entire team, you know? Okay. And we also have a doctor here as well. So in case you need someone with those expertise, you know. So
who's the doctor?
There's Dr. Cavallo here.
Okay, okay. But yeah.
All right, awesome stuff. So as we wrap up our conversation, I'd just like to give you the floor in terms of you sharing any words of wisdom, words of encouragement for people that are in the business line. As you know, unemployment is a challenge in the country right now. So a number of young people are pursuing business. So you've gone through the business journey over 7 years, started from scratch with no connections, and you built up your business and your brand through hard work and through different experiences. So what can you say to someone who is trying out business but is struggling? The business isn't making as much as what they hoped it would be making right now. And you know, it doesn't look like something that is worth pursuing going into the future. What can you say to that person right now?
Authenticity. Authenticity will be your fingerprint. There'll be one thing that cannot be taken away from you. Get into business with the heart and the passion that you're getting into it for you, not for other people. Because if you get into business for the wrong reasons, business will choke you. Business is not for running away from poverty. I truly want to believe not everyone is called for business. There's a certain level of tenacity and attitude that is demanded by somebody who gets into business. Business is not for the faint-hearted. Get into business for the right reasons. Don't get into business to copy. This is why I'm talking about authenticity. So when you get into business, also understand that probably the first few years, it's not going to seem as if nothing is happening. Like I said, consistency. Consistency will keep you at the top. It might seem as if they don't see you, but truth of the matter is, people have tendencies of just looking and they're like, okay, I'll get back to him or her and see her after a year or so and check out if they're still there. But the moment they see that you've been consistent for so many years, they get to respect you for being able to sit through and pull through. So consistency, authenticity, and those other principles, humility and self-belief will really keep you through.
Beautiful stuff. And I think just to add on to your wonderful list, passion is also one thing that I found to be very useful. When you get into a business that you are passionate about, that you want to get into, I found that to be extremely useful. When times get tough, you know, all that you have is the passion, you know, is the passion to get you through to the next stage and stuff. With thank you everyone for joining in and listening into my conversation with Jess. I trust that you got a lot of value, insights, and lessons out of this. Do follow Jess. She's on Instagram. She's on TikTok. She's on Facebook as well. So check out her content on any of those platforms. And if you want to get your face beat, you want to see the things, Jess is definitely a person to check out and to have doing that for you. So with that said, have a great evening, Jess. Thanks for taking the time and for sharing the lessons and the tips and the magic that's helped you along your journey. So have yourself a great evening. Thanks everyone for the comments. Thank you. Dili, she says thanks for sharing, guys. So you're much welcome for that. And yeah, so do tune in for our next podcast. Look out for the updates in terms of who our next guest will be. Otherwise, have yourself a great evening. Ciao.
Good night.
Night.